Respected elders, my respected ulama, my brothers, my sisters, and my little friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. After praising the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending salutations on our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I begin as always by first thanking you, my host, for giving me this opportunity to convey the message of Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I pray to the Almighty Allah that Allah accepts these efforts of yours in listening to this message, as indeed you've made a great sacrifice. As I pray to the Almighty Allah that Allah accepts these efforts of mine in delivering this message. It was hoped that this century would give birth to sons and daughters the Muslim Ummah would be proud of. It was hoped that again we would see the likes of the great Abu Hanifa. We would see the likes of the great Malik. We would see the likes of the great Ahmed ibn Hanbal, the likes of Muhammad bin Qasim, the likes of Tariq bin Ziyad, the likes of Jalaluddin Suyuti, the likes of Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, the likes of Badruddin al-Aini, the likes of the great Bukhari, the likes of the great Tirmidhi, the likes of Nasai, Abu Dawood, Ibn al-Sakan, the likes of Rayhana Majnuna, the likes of Rabia Basariya, the likes of Mu'aza Adawiya, the likes of Amina Ramaliya. It was hoped that we would see our flesh, our sons and daughters, Muslim children, some making a contribution in the field of tafsir, some making a contribution in the field of fiqh, Islamic jurisprudence, some making a contribution in the field of hadith. It was hoped that we would see our flesh, our sons and daughters, making a contribution in the worldly sciences, some in biology, some in physics, some in chemistry, some in geology. It was hoped that we would see our children, our sons and daughters, elevating the flag of Islam in every field they chose to work in and pursue. These were the hopes of the Ummah. This was the dream of the Ummah. These were the aspirations. These were the prayers of the Ummah. I ask you, did we find the sons and daughters this Ummah was looking out for? Did we find the sons and daughters that this Ummah is desperately in need of and crying out for in this day and age of fitna, in these times of turbulence, in these times of fitna? The reality is, and reality hurts, that we found and are finding that the majority our sons and daughters, the very people we are depending upon for the existence of Islam, the very people that we have hope in, the very people we are relying on to elevate the kalima la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, we are finding that many of our sons and daughters are spiritually crippled. They are spiritually suffering from a cancer which is eating away at the iman, without our sons and daughters even knowing, even realizing that they are affected by this cancer. We have found and are finding And the number is increasing daily, no matter how many times we try to brush this under the carpet. No matter how many times we try not to address this issue. No matter how many times we never try to raise this issue. We found and are finding that not only our sons, as well as our sons, even our daughters are now beginning to take to the streets. They are taking to the streets looking for happiness, looking for joy, looking for peace, looking for satisfaction, looking for contentment, looking for the good feeling. Some in bags of glue, some in tablets, some in cocaine. Some of them are chasing the dragon in heroin. Some of them in weed. Some of them in speed. Some of them in marijuana. Some of them in smack. Some of them in crack. Doctors say and have proven that drugs cause diseases. Doctors say and have proven those under the influence of drugs commit many crimes. And they cite millions of examples. I haven't come here today to argue or prove something which is crystal clear and something which has already been proven. You know why? Because my brother on the street, he says, you know what, Maulana, you live in cuckoo land. We don't do such things. We're not hooked on this thing. We just take a spliff or two. It's just a tablet that we take. And you know why we take it? We take it just for the buzz. Just because it gives us that good feeling. You know, for a few minutes, it amuses us. We're not hooked onto this thing. We're not stoned out of our heads. We don't go around committing crime and doing wrongs thereafter. You know what, Maulana? Millions of people smoke cigarettes. This thing is cheaper than cigarettes. It only costs $1 or so. That's all we spend a week. This is the reason that I have come today. I want to share with you the consequence of this mentality. I want to share with you the consequence of that one spliff that you take. The consequence of that one sip. The consequence of that one time you snort that cocaine. The consequence of that $1 that you spend the haram way. I would like to share with you the consequence of this one deal. You're sitting here before me and you're listening to my words. See if you can picture this in your mind's eye. It is a Friday and you know what I'm referring to. It is a Jum'ah. It is the blessed night, the more blessed night out of the whole week. So blessed that our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this is the day فيه خلق الله آدم, in which Allah created Hazrat Adam alayhi salam. وفيه أدخل الجنة. This is the day in which Adam was taken to paradise. وفيه أخرج منها. This is the day in which Hazrat Adam alayhi salam was taken out of paradise. So blessed is this day. وَفِيهِ قُبِض. This is the day in which Hazrat Adam alayhi salam died. So blessed is this day. فِي سَاعَةٌ لَا يَسْأَلِ الْعَبْدُ فِيهَا شَيْئًا إِلَّا أَعْطَاهُ إِيَّاهُ. It contains a particular hour. If a servant prays to the Almighty Allah in that hour, the heavens open and his prayers are answered. Whichever dua he makes, Allah answers the prayer. So blessed is this day that Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, and Allah ordained the believers, فَاكْثُرُ مِنَ الصَّلَاةِ فِيهَا, that increase your salutations on our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why? فَإِنَّ صَلَاتُكُمْ يَوْمَ الْجُمُعَةِ مَعْرُوزَةٌ عَلَيْهَا. Because your salutation is presented to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam on a Jumu'ah. This is how blessed and how special this night is. And Abdullah, as an example, he's been waiting all week for this night. He's been waiting for the Jumu'ah, for a Friday evening. All week, he's been waiting for this night. And Abdullah has been waiting for this night, not because of its holiness,